I'm here. I'm here. Let me see how I'm going to do it. Is this one? Yeah. Alright. Um we doing some new shit around here. I gotta figure out I'm having an issue. I gotta figure out how to get for one, am I lagging? Let me see. I don't look like I'm lagging. I gotta figure out how to get the Facebook comments on the screen too. So we gotta have the Facebook comments and the can I pause this? We gotta get the Facebook comments on the screen. So yeah, tomorrow, well today, I'm gonna be at the Wilder Stiverne 2 press conference. And there's so many questions, man. There's so many questions, but I'm tired. We here is late, so I ain't been sleeping, working on the website a lot. Here I gotta plug my website. I gotta plug my website. You know, so um, next week will be my 7-year anniversary from when I first started doing videos on YouTube. It's crazy, right? 7 years. So I started doing videos consistently on YouTube. When did I get out of rehab? That was August of 2013 is when I started doing videos consistently on YouTube. I started my own channel in 2014, July 29th of 2014. And then everything was like taking off, and then most of the second half of 2015 all the way until um, mid 2016, I wasn't doing videos like that. I was coming up with all this, stuff here. This didn't just happen. It took a lot of planning, and let me put my website. It took a lot of planning to get a lot of planning, a lot of fucking heartache and pain and all that shit. Regular shit to get all of this done. You know, so I built it. Why I hate when people message me when you see me live. That's the type of shit that gets you blocked and get you cussed out. Like if you see me doing a live video, then you go, oh hey, let me message 2 Street. That's like, it's like lacks common sense. But yeah, it's done. Let me move this over here. You know? So I can see the Facebook comments, but they just not on the screen here. So for those who don't know, we're live on Facebook and on and here on YouTube. What we're going to be doing is we're going to start going live on YouTube. Wait, let me pull this. Let me pull this away for a minute. We're going to be live on YouTube. We're going to be live on here, my personal Facebook page. We're going to be live on the like page. We're going to be live on Daily Motion too. Yo, I swear, I'm about to start blocking people. Matter of fact, let me cut this shit off. What type of sense does it make if you see somebody doing a live video to message them? So anyway, um, Drunk T Street was the best. No, not really. Not really. It all depends on what you were looking for. Like I was a lot more credible now, I guess. You know. I mean, yeah, it's the entertainment value of it. I've always known, and I've always, this is how I grew up. That like I'm a pretty charismatic dude in crowds and shit like that. But that shit just for the, that shit is the past. I can't even drink like I used to. I drink a little bit these days, and I be fucked up. Especially now because I haven't been drinking since I got back from Vegas because I had that ulcer and shit. So now I know like I can't hold no motherfucking liquor. I can drink 2 drinks and I'd be cool, I'd be cool. I have drinks since I got back from Vegas. I had but I can't, that shit is done. So now what I'm focused on is making sure that we are ahead of the game. You feel me? You know, Unlike my competitors, thank God I'm in a situation where I'm not out here money grabbing and chasing this shit and fucking up my my integrity and shit, you know? Because you got too many people out here I've learned over the years that they really don't give a fuck about boxing. It's a job to them. And it's like, it's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's nothing wrong with like, oh, I'm going to cover, you know, the sport because there's money in it. It's nothing wrong with that. But I just, me, I've learned that sometimes I can be too outspoken, you know? And I got this reputation of being like this renegade boxing media guy that people think I want to be famous. I don't want to be motherfucking famous. That's never been something, I don't want to be, I'm a hermit. It's just that, like, in what I do, you have to be like out there more. You have to be out there more. Well, see, here's the thing. Like in life, you know, one of the reasons why I'm so successful in life right now, now I'm not rich or anything like that, but I don't ever have to work again, and I've made the decisions, right decisions in life that my family is taken care of whenever I do have a family. But um, the best way to put it is when I first started doing this. Wait, we gotta talk about boxing. Oh yeah, we could shoot it fast for about another 10 minutes. When I first started like doing this, it was like, okay, how can I get to the next level? So for example, I only had a handful of jobs in my whole life. And each job I had, I always made sure that, well, if I do this, how can I get to the next level? So for example, my first job ever in a restaurant was in 2004. Was at Ruby Tuesdays. I started as a bus boy. You know, like I was in college. It was my second year of college. I'm cleaning the tables and shit like that. You know, then 2 months later, I became the to-go person, the person that took the to-go orders and shit. Then I said, well, wait a minute. I might as well start being a motherfucking waiter. But I said, I don't like dealing with people like that. But I knew that if I came up with a system that I'd be able to make my money and not have to be like, hey, how you doing? My name is Terrell. Welcome to Ruby Tuesdays. You know? Can I start you off one of our fresh strawberry, what was that handcrafted strawberry lemonade shit? Well, it's not really handcrafted. But then another 2 months later, I became like the expo with the food and shit. Long story short, I was a bartender within 9 months, and I could have been a manager within like a year and a half. So even when my first job ever in life, I worked at a gas station. My aunt used to manage the gas station. So on the weekends when I was 11 years old, 11, 12 years old, 7th grade, I used to go and like clean the pumps. Then by the time I turned 16, became a cashier. It was when I was 14. I think it was 14 I was a cashier. It was different back then. Um, and then before I started bartending full time at TGI Fridays, I was managing like 3 of them. So the way I approach boxing media is this. It's like I'm working my way up the ranks. You feel me? I'm working my way up the ranks to see, okay, well, what's the next level after this? So originally my goal when I was drunk and not taking everything seriously as far as what I was going to do on YouTube and everything, the goal was I said, okay, well, I'm just going to save up some bread and be a boxing promoter. But then I thought, wait a minute, you know, once I sobered up and everything, I was like, wait a minute, that shit sounds really, really dumb because you don't know anything about the sport. So I said, even though I don't want to do interviews, and this was back then, this was 3 years ago. I said, even though if I don't want to do interviews, or if I don't want to be like a media person, that's the way to go to learn the sport. You see what I'm saying? So I chose to go the media route because I've learned so much about the sport now, especially when it comes to the rankings, which we're going to talk about, you know, WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF. So in short, I've learned so much. I've learned so much from the media end that's going to help me promote fights later on in the future. For example, how to put on press conferences. You know, you got to rent a place out. You know, you want to have food. You know, how to do press releases. You know, like all that shit. You know, but like I said, I've always been in a situation where people, when people doubted my intelligence. So now I'm in a situation where of all the years I've been talking all this stuff that I was going to do, now I'm finally doing it. So what I want to do now is I'm bringing boxing to different platforms or boxing media. So as I was saying earlier in the video, is YouTube is the foundation, but I want to bring boxing interviews, press conferences, workouts, and everything, and live commentary to Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Daily Motion, Twitch, everything. So soon, before the end of this year, all my videos, when I do a live stream, are going to be streamed on multiple platforms. So right now we're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. And then next week we're going to ease in being live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on the Facebook like page. That's 3 platforms, and then we're going to try to squeeze in Twitch. So right now, I'm doing these different tests to make sure all my equipment can handle all this, because I've spent thousands of dollars on all this stuff now, like thousands and thousands of dollars on all this equipment and shit I have now, and I don't even know how to work most of it. You know. So that's our shit right there, man. That's our shit right there. So let's get to some boxing. Tomorrow I'm gonna be at the press conference for Wilder versus Stiverne 2. I'm really kind of looking forward to that because we have so many questions we have to ask. Now, if you didn't, I'm wondering if I should show a clip, because normally if I was on YouTube, I would show highlights of the I would be showing highlights of the if I was just only on YouTube, I would be showing highlights of the fights in the Carlos Takam Joshua fight. But Facebook, I don't know yet. I've emailed them last week once I got off of a 2-month suspension for doing live videos. I emailed them last week, and I'm trying to get in touch with somebody to let them know, like, listen, I'm trying to do some innovative shit. Like, if I show, like certain highlights that I'm legally allowed to show, don't be shutting my shit down. So that's what I'm working on. And also, let me see. I might be able to do it while I'm live on stream. Get more extensions. I'm gonna see if we can pull the Facebook chat, and I'm gonna put it like right down here, like on this side, like right in this little area right here, or some shit. Oh, we can't. I can't pull the app up. I'm sure there's a Facebook chat, because right here, what you're seeing on the screen, that's the YouTube chat. I want to get the Facebook chat too, but without having too much shit on the screen. Of course, I can just pull it up right here, but it's going to be like a mirrored effect. So anyway, I'm gonna be at the fight tomorrow. No, at the fight this weekend, and then honestly, I don't think I'm going to any more fights after that. So, here's what I've noticed. Anthony Joshua has options. He can fight Dillian Whyte in a rematch. Not saying that he will. But more importantly, he can fight Joseph Parker, WBO champion, next, who I feel he will likely fight. An offer has already been made. Truth be told, you can just say that they're in talks. They're already in talks to fight either for March or April. Because Anthony Joshua wants to fight 3 times. But here's the thing: you have to look at the. Let me just pull this shit up. Yeah, check out my website, man. I've been working on this, man, all week. I gotta update the rankings. Now, one thing about the rankings is they don't update them. Basically, the WBC, the WBA, IBF, WBO don't update their rankings all at the same time. You dig? So you may have the WBC, they may update their shit on like the 15th, the WBA like the 7th, the 21st. Actually, the WBA just updated their shit like it's the first now. They didn't update their shit till like 2 days ago. So even though it's not that many changes, still, this is basically, it. WBL just uploaded their shit last week. So when I update the rankings on the website, you can't, you have to wait till everybody updates their shit, or it's going to look stupid. So anyway, looking at the situation, right? Here's Anthony Joshua, WBA, IBF champion. Joseph Parker, WBO. Of course, Deontay Wilder, WBC. The crazy thing is, this guy, Dominic Breazeale, and this guy, Eric Molina, are fighting to be the mandatory for Deontay Wilder. So I'm interested in talking to these guys tomorrow, Eric Molina and Dominic Breazeale, because the winner of that fight tomorrow will likely be ordered to fight Dillian Whyte. Now, Deontay Wilder, if he beats Bermane Stiverne, hold on. Deontay Wilder, if he beats Bermane Stiverne, hey, am I lagging on Facebook? Can somebody tell me if I'm lagging? So if Deontay Wilder beats Bermane Stiverne, he'll have a voluntary. Now, he's been known in the past to have, he's been known in the past to have 3 different voluntaries. Well, he had 3 different voluntaries. Who was it? It was, what was his first defense? Was it Dominic Breazeale, Johan Duhaupas, and then Chris Arreola, right? No, it was Eric Molina, Johan Duhaupas, and then Chris Arreola. But in this case, the WBC won't allow him to take multiple voluntary. So if he wins against Bermane Stiverne, a lot of people thinking he is going to win, he'll have a voluntary. But if you look at the top 15 of the WBC, who do you really want to see? So he may be forced in a situation where he have to fight Dillian Whyte before Dillian Whyte, or if Dillian Whyte does not become the mandatory. You know, so look at this. I mean, you got Andy Ruiz out there, yeah. You know, but where is he? We haven't seen him since he lost to Joseph Parker. He's probably like 400 pounds now. You know? You got Lucas Brown, who's been reinstated, and Adam Konaki. That can sell in New York because of his Polish, you know. But outside of that, who do you really want to see? So Eddie Hearn, the promoter of Anthony Joshua, knows that Wilder has limited to no options because Deontay Wilder may want Joseph Parker, but Joseph Parker will choose Anthony Joshua over Deontay Wilder because you'll make more money. So Deontay Wilder's in a tough situation, and that Luis Ortiz situation really did him dirty. Here's the crazy thing about the Luis Ortiz situation. He could still possibly get Wilder. I would assume the mandatory is due in a year, right? Well, in this case for Wilder, see, the WBC was very lenient with him in the past. But in this case, he would be, how can I put it? I would say like October, November is when they would like order the mandatory, something like that. So yeah, within the year. Yeah, that's a year. October, November. You know? But Eddie Hearn knows this, you know? He knows this. In other news, Alexander Povetkin, where's he at? Where's he at? I'm going to fix the layout for this too, make it more like user-friendly and shit. I need to work on that over the weekend. Anyway, Alexander Povetkin has been ordered to fight Christian Hammer for the mandatory for Joseph Parker. But the thing is, Joseph Parker is only allowed one voluntary, and it'll likely be Anthony Joshua because after the winner will have to fight the winner of Povetkin and Hammer. Put it this way, Deontay Wilder's in a tough-ass situation. Ortiz is still ranked in the WBA with fans under review. The WBA said he was suspended, though. This was a couple of weeks ago, unless they came out with something new. I had the newsletter. I know that he's not suspended by the WBC, though. But unless he filed something in the last week or so, the last time I checked, I haven't checked in over a week. Or it's been about 2 weeks, maybe a week or 2 weeks. But the last I checked, he was suspended unless something has changed. You know, I got to look that up. You know, so, like I said, it's a complex situation. You know, but in a way, you know, like Wilder kind of did this to himself. And also you have to really like ask, like, as far as the WBC is concerned, it's like why is Bermane Stiverne even ranked anyway? Now let me pull this record up. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Damn it. Yeah, so I'm going to be in New York tomorrow for the press conference. It starts at noon. I'm going to be streaming the whole thing. It starts at noon. I don't do any collabs with people. I'm going to be doing podcasts, a round of podcast interviews over the next couple of weeks, though. I forgot to mention that earlier. I'm going to be on several people's podcasts over the next like 3 weeks or something. What was I doing? Yo, shut up. Let me finish what I was doing. Now, the crazy thing is, this guy, right? 2015. We're going into 2018. We're going into 2018, yo. We're going into 2018, right? 3 years. 3 years. 3 years. He fought Derek Rousey, and then a lot of people felt he should have lost this fight, right? I've been looking for this fight, you know, as far as like footage. I only can find like little bits of footage, yo. But many that I've talked to that was at this fight say that he lost this fight, right? And then he's getting the title shot. Like, how does that make? That doesn't make any type of sense. And this guy, you know, and he's getting, you know, he's 32 now. You know, he won the belt. It's been 3 years. Wilder's been champion for 3 years. Oh, look at all these voluntaries. See, you can't blame him for the Povetkin situation. He won the belt from Bermane Stiverne, right? Eric Molina, voluntary. Johan Duhaupas, voluntary. Artur Szpilka, voluntary. Then he was supposed to fight in between this time. This is when a Povetkin shit went down. Chris Arreola, Gerald Washington. You know, so a lot of like, you know, it's crazy because it's crazy because he's had chances to fight better opposition before. You know, he's had chances, but now it's like coming back to biting. You know, it's coming back to biting. I'm all right. I'm here. You know, I was supposed to do this stream earlier, but I've been working so much, man. I've been working like a lot. I've been working like a lot. You know, so I took a nap. I took a nap like 4 p.m. Woke up, you know, like 10, and I said, you know what? I gotta do a stream. So I decided that I'm not gonna go to any more fights this year. I'm not. I haven't put my application in for Rigondeaux Lomachenko. I'm pretty confident I'll get in, but truth be told, it's time. It's been a year now. I built this a year ago, you know, and now we have the access to the events. We have the website is done. You know, we have the foundation. You know, I got to start making some money. I can't keep, you know, putting all this money into this and not. I got to start making some money. So I decided that it's not best for me to go to any events. You know, so after Wilder versus Stiverne, I'm gonna probably go to just two press conferences. You know, I'm gonna go to the Lomachenko Rigondeaux press conference. I'm gonna go to the Kovalev press conference. I haven't decided. I may go to the Kovalev fight, honestly. I may go to that Kovalev fight. You know, but I don't plan on going to any more fights until that Spence Peterson fight or that Danny Garcia fight. You know, and also two of us are going this weekend, so we got two credentials for this fight. You know, so that's a big upgrade right there. You know, before, you know, so we're working our way up, man. We're working our way up, and I said before, like I'm in a situation like where I've come from in life and the things that I've been through, like just to get one credential or just to be able to. I have my own website. It's crazy, you know. So I be thinking to that like about like when I get down on myself about certain shit, you know, I be thinking like, yo, bro, like you started your own shit. So even though I make it look easy, this shit is not easy, you know. So I'm kind of hype about this Wilder Stiverne fight. For one, is because I know that I'm not going to be going to another fight for a while. Like going to them fights are rough, man. Going to them fights are rough. Like the travel and the expenses, and the fact that I can do more damage now because my videos have been doing really well. Like after post fights, I've been in the top 3. You know, and I'm not talking about like people are trying to say weirdo shit like, oh well, your views are low. Nah, bro, my views are actually on par to be growing the way they were growing before. So my post fight videos do crazy outrageous numbers. I'm just trying to get, you know, my regular preview videos stabilized, and the reason why they're not stabilized is because I'm not doing them consistently enough. You know, we're not sharing them around enough. You know, so you know, trust me, I'm in the loop. I know what my flaws are as far as you know, why things aren't um better than they should be. But that's what they say. Yeah, I built this website myself. Now, like the template was done by somebody, but you know, like yeah, I built this shit. Like I taught myself how to do it. I started teaching myself because first I was going to hire somebody to like you know like get everything I wanted on there, but you know they couldn't. You know I couldn't explain like my vision, so therefore I just had to learn how to do that shit. So what I did is it was back in August. Was it August? It was before Mayweather McGregor. This was like the beginning of August. I said, well, shit, I got to learn how to do this shit. So I just started watching hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of tutorials. Just like I did when I learned how to do this technical shit I'm doing with this. Just like I did when I learned how to like be like boxing media. Just like I did when I learned how to like you do YouTube. And like I did with every job in life. It's just like, if you don't know something, why pay somebody to do that shit? Do that shit yourself. You know? So now I know how to like do it. Like, you know, like I'm trying to make sure that we get, so you can't really tell, you know, but I'm making sure that it looks like really, really good on mobile because a lot of people are on mobile. But also, as you can see, like this is our sponsors right here. You know, they make whole foods or organic foods. We got our Twitter feed and all that right here. This is Bobby Main Box Right. Like page. You know, it's my Instagram. You know, so I'm still. Why don't you participate in the streams with the LDBC? Why you keep asking me about them, man? And the reason why is because they treat me like I don't exist. You ask them. This is not nothing new with that YouTube box community and none of that bullshit. I don't want to talk about that. Don't ask me about that. Why don't I participate? Ask them. I didn't say, oh, I'm not going to. You'd be surprised. And plus, I don't have time for that shit. I got so much shit I gotta do. So don't try to bring that blame over here. They blacklisted me way back during the Flomo Pactart days. You know, so motherfuckers won't say my name. They act like I don't exist. They act like I don't exist. And they watch all my videos. You know how I want to tell you how I know. Trust me, I know who watch my videos. You know. So yeah, what if Wilder get knocked out? You know, you got a lot of people who are against Wilder because for some reason it's like I guess maybe it's casuals or it's trolling. I guess. You know, oh, that's a gray hair. I got a long ass gray hair. Y'all see it? I don't want to pull it out. It's wisdom. I don't want to pull it out. I want to get the gray fox ocelot thing going on. I want to get like a streak. Show the wisdom and shit. Oh, but you know, Bermane Stiverne has a lot of supporters. A lot of supporters. And a lot of people want Wilder to lose because they're like, you know, you've been fighting bums for way too long. Now, me personally, as I said, I don't call fighters bums. You can't do that, you know? Because fighters get fucked up. But let me turn this off, man. I'm watching a fight in the background that's distracting me. You know, but Wilder has fought competition that doesn't allow him to have A-side say when it comes to Anthony Joshua or any type of say, really. He really needed that Luis Ortiz fight for credibility reasons. He really needed that fight. You know, it's a shame that Luis Ortiz didn't fill out the motherfucking proper paperwork because here's the thing. From what I gathered, if he would have filled out the proper paperwork, they would have let the fight go on. If he would have filled out the proper paperwork, they would have let the fight go on. And he fucked it up. You know? If they hated on you because you supported Pac-Man, then I understand. Yeah, no, it wasn't that they hated on me. It's just that it's a long story that goes back. Remember, I've been on YouTube since 2010. My first video ever on YouTube did 75,000 views. And when I came out of, it's a long, crazy, like weird. It's not weird. It's like a, you know, people tell me it's like a good story. But how I just came out of nowhere all those years back and did one video. And I didn't know nothing about YouTube or anything. And I came on here just bashing Mayweather, how he was scared and everything. You'd be surprised. Like how, like the whole, like, Filipinos, they just started, like, supporting me and shit. It was crazy. Like, in, like, crazy numbers. I'm talking about, like, riding on people, getting people's videos taken down. So it was a time, like, where people would do, like, videos trolling on me and shit. And be like, you know, this coon is against Mayweather and all that shit and all that. I didn't know nothing about that war back then. I'm brand new on YouTube. So what happened was they started going around the Pactards, but they were, you know, heavy supporters of mine. They was going around riding for me, like getting people's videos and shit taken down, cussing people out. And you know, when they get mad and things don't go their way, they resort to racisms, everything. You know, they was riding. They was riding. But anyway, what's supposed to be doing? So, a lot of people are blaming Wilder for the Povetkin situation, and they're blaming him for the Luis Ortiz situation. But it's like those two situations are not his fault. He has been trying to get credible names. He wanted that Povetkin name. He was over there. You know, he chose not to fight Povetkin because Povetkin failed the drug test. However, it's a situation where Wilder has not been paid yet. He has not been paid. That money is still in escrow because the drug that Povetkin got popped for, and this is where, excuse my language, oh, I don't want to say it. I'm going to say it. This is where niggas show ignorance when they don't research. Excuse my language, man. I'm sorry I had to. You know, And I'm not saying like as far as black people. I'm saying I'm trying to figure out how to word it. I already even fucked it up anyway, right? But it's a situation that required research, And let me pull some shit up. I don't know if I should. Let me pull up. Let me see. Pull this over here. Like, Wilder got ahead of himself because the drug that Povetkin got popped for was a drug that was newly banned, and also there wasn't enough scientific research or data to show how long it takes for that drug to get out of your system, and the amount that they found in his system, was such a small, tiny amount, that even if he was trying to use it for like juicing, it's a complex situation. It's a complex situation. But the Luis Ortiz situation just shows shadiness. I don't want to show it. I was going to pull up the legal documents, but I don't feel like it. Y'all don't deserve it. But the Luis Ortiz situation looks shady. Nah, bro, PD Povetkin is a cheat. See? That's ignorance right there. Because you can say that, but what do you have to say that off of what documentation? Because you heard it on other YouTube channels? How thoroughly did they break down the situation to you? So that's why, like I take what I do very seriously. When it comes to like steroid allegations and things like that now, I just don't jump and do a video and say, oh, this motherfucker failed the drug test, they juicing. Nah, you got to research that shit these days. And also, I can get motherfucking sued. You got to be careful with that type of shit. So if a motherfucker failed a drug test, that's serious business because in the world of public opinion of boxing, you failed a drug test. Oh, you cheated. For example, the Luis Neri situation. It's like, it's a weird, complex situation. I'm getting sick and tired of this contaminated meat. Any fighters don't eat no meat in Mexico. All right? That should be common sense. Just like any fighter will go over to Russia, right? You don't want to be, listen, I'm the type of motherfucker that if I'm managing, promoting, or training a boxer, nutritionist or some shit, if I'm Chris Algieri, it's like this. How do we know he wasn't microdoping? Okay, I'm about to put you on timeout because you're trying to get into this fucking deep-ass debate about some shit I don't fucking know about. How do you know he wasn't microdoping? But anyway, you get no more comments from me, bro. Sorry. You made me forget my train of thought. Oh, yeah. If I was a trainer or anything, if you go over, if my fighter goes over to Russia or anything like that, you're not drinking no water. You're not eating nothing from over there. We bring our own shit from fucking Omaha Steaks. Or fucking what's that shit? Blue Apron, No, I eat none of that. So it's just like the situation I had with Luis Ortiz. It's like, bro, it's high blood pressure medication. So even though it's been confirmed that he does have hypertension, high blood pressure, it's like, why didn't you put this shit on the paperwork? So since there's chemicals that's in the high blood pressure medication that can be used as a masking agent, and you failed the drug test before in the past, it makes you look shady as shit. Yeah, every sport has PED problems, and what I've learned, and in this day and age, like if this was years ago, like y'all said, the drunk T Street, I would have been said all this shit, but in this day and age, I can't do that anymore. But what I have learned is all these motherfuckers is on something. Or even if you're not on something that's like a performance-enhancing drug as far as a something that's helping you like perform and train, they're smoking weed and shit. So, but it is fucked up though, especially like, like I feel that younger fighters, why are you juicing? You're supposed to be young and you're supposed to be able to, like train and all that shit without needing that extra edge. Like, what the fuck? You lazy. You know? So it depends. So I had to keep saying the same shit over and over and over again, but I am going to be in New York tomorrow for the press conference. I'm interested in talking to a lot of these people. For example, I'm interested. Obviously, we got to ask some Deontay Wilder some real questions. Now, remember, I'm going to stream all of it. What I think I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to stream everything, and I'm talking about like once I start the stream, like right before the press conference, I think I'm going to stream all the way until I leave. So therefore, you'll see me asking questions to all of these, and then I have one continuous video that I can edit out the questions and shit like that. I'm thinking about doing it that way, to save time. Because my goal is now that I know to get, I know how to interview and I know the questions to ask. I want to make sure I got to get that shit out faster now. I got to get it out faster now. So, you're gonna have Wilder. There's questions for Wilder. There's questions for Bermane Stiverne. I hope Don King shows up. Got to talk to Sean Porter. Like, yo, bro, what are you doing? We got to talk to Adrian Granados. We got to talk to this Sergey Lipinets. The guy that's been calling out Crawford. He's now fighting for Crawford's vacated IBF title. He's been talking a lot of shit. Before this stream, I watched 4 fights on him. Not impressed. We got to talk to Dominic Breazeale, and Eric Molina, because the winner of that, it's a WBC final eliminator. So the winner of that will go on to fight likely Dylan Whyte. And the winner will be the mandatory. So, in storylines, there's a lot going on, like at this event. What are you going to ask Don King? For one, I'm asking where he been at. Where's he been at? And he going to start saying some old shit. Preaching and shit. Granados beats Porter. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay, bro. Okay. Yo, Sean Porter ain't no joke. I was just talking about this video yesterday. If you're not on your A game, that shit will fuck you up. Sean Porter don't fuck around. That shit will fuck you up, man. Yeah, so what I'm working on is a lot of people been bitching and complaining. It's like when you do a live stream, you just don't start talking, because you can't just come up, I'm live. Well, Wilder did this and he did that, because there's not enough people watching. You got to wait like 15, 20 minutes or so, So that's why I choose to play music or highlights for like 10 to 15 minutes. But going forward, like we are getting more organized, as far as doing these streams at like a set time. Like this one is random and it's so late, and the reason why I did this is because I've been working on the website like all week. I haven't had a chance to do like a nice solid video on all of this stuff. Porter will win, but Granados has balls. Should be entertaining. And Granados is all of his 5 losses and his 2 draws, if I'm correct. 5 losses, 2 draws have all been like controversial. Yeah, Sean Porter will fuck you up. If it's banned, it's banned. Yeah, it should be banned, yo. Don King has Venice Martirosyan. I guess he still has Charles Hatley, but Charles Hatley was suing his ass. Bermane Stiverne wants out. Jay Prince should be there tomorrow. We should talk to him about Andre Ward. I've interviewed him like 3 times already. We should talk to him about Andre Ward. In those heavyweights. See if Andre Ward, see if we can bait him into a question. Into an answer. Like, well, is Andre Ward really considering, if he come back, the heavyweight division or some shit? Is he considering some shit like that? Some shit like that. So yeah, let me check. The press conference starts at 1. The press conference starts at, they want us there at 12. It starts at like 1. So I'm going to be streaming. That's 12. Well, what's that? 11 hours from now. I'm going to be streaming it. And then tomorrow night, around like 6, 7, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to do a stream talking about the fight. Then I won't be going back out there until Saturday for the fight. And then I'm not going to any more fights after that, until like January or some shit. And then the next fights you'll see me at after that, I'll be like there working with people to train people up and all that type of stuff. Those days of going to fights are over for me, baby. I'm kind of happy about it. Like before, I used to be telling myself, man, you gotta get to these fights, man. But now it's just like, okay, now you can get there. Like, how can you maximize like profit and like productivity? productivity. Let me see if I can make the chat questions bigger. I don't like. Let me see if I can fix that. That's cool. Also got some new intros and shit like that. Some new intros. So I am looking for help though. You know, if y'all like here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who are serious and understand that you're going to be around like multimillionaire boxers and celebrities and all kind of shit like that. I'm not saying I want somebody to be going to like every single fight because the whole goal is to have like multiple people, you know, in multiple locations. So if there's a fight, you know, and you're in the area and you got like time, you know, I want you to go to the fight, you know, and of course, you know, we'll make sure if it's reasonable, obviously, because a lot of people don't understand that I don't make any money off of these videos, at least not yet. You know, the strategy is, and it goes with any business, you know, that I've learned is that to make money, you got to spend money. But now I've been doing it for so long that now if people do what they're supposed to do, you know, and they follow the template that I set out, you know, for them to follow, then it's like you get me the content and we're going to make some money. But the goal is I want to send people the fights and they get like the content, send it back to me, and I use the content right here to back up the things that we say. T-Street been sipping on that cognac instead of tea. Nah, motherfucker, it's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. And matter of fact, who are you? You can't joke around with me. I don't joke around with people I don't know anymore. I don't joke around. In fact, no, it's orange soda. What have I said that was questionable? But the goal is to get people like to these fights, the people who have like the availability, because you have some people that they'll contact me and say, okay, well, how much you paying? Motherfucker, who are you? We don't know who you are. What have you ever done? You know, like that's the worst, and that's how you can tell people, you know, don't really like are not really like where they need to be in life when you just come out straight asking somebody some shit like that. You know, you'll say, well, you know, you're interested in helping out covering fights. They'd be like, how much you paying? You didn't even ask me about the locations, no nothing. You know. So anyway, if you're interested in helping, email me at info@fightview360.com. The link is right down below. Well, not the link. The information is right down below in the description box. Oh, my bad. I was reading comments. We've been live for 50 minutes. We got another 10 minutes left. This was a success. I'm wondering what's going to happen when I stream on 3. You know, so right now we're on Facebook and YouTube. I wonder if things are going to slow down if we stream on 3. We really want to push the envelope. We're trying to get to streaming on YouTube, my personal Facebook page, the like page, and Twitch by next week. Then by December at Daily Motion. So we're trying to be streaming live on like all platforms. All platforms. Yeah, we're working on I'm working on the hoodies now. We're just talking to my to the team, and we're doing it. The way we're gonna do it is we're gonna get a certain amount and work from there. You know, so I'm gonna have that done before the holidays. I'm working on that, which is another reason why I'm not going to any more fights, because I've done that part. You know, as far as establishing. You know, so gotta get that merchandise out. So working on it before Thanksgiving. It's not as hard as I thought it was after I started researching, but I had to get the website taken care of first, and then I got a podcast coming, you know, and the podcast is very important because the podcast is going to be the most consistent thing I've ever done, because a podcast has to be every, you know, at the same time, you know, so it's going to be on Monday for an hour, but if we have to go to an hour and a half, it'll be an hour and a half. I've learned that 2 hours is just too long. Just focus on Twitch and YouTube. Nope, that's too small-minded. See, that's why I don't listen to other people. That's why I haven't got this far listening to other people, man. Just focus on Twitch and YouTube. You know, no, you want to do as much as you possibly can, bro. You know, especially when you can make it easy. But once again, that's why I don't listen to other people when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah, I can't wait to get a brown hoodie. Yeah, we're gonna get some You know, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. That's the next thing. The first thing I had to do was I had to build that website. You know, I had to build that website. The hoodies, the hard, especially one with the gold. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, the merchandise is a gold mine in its own because me one thing about what I've built is I've noticed is that I get different um fan appeal and reaction when you see the person. Like the people who do the videos where they do like the audio and everything, and you don't see them, they just do like the different shit flat. Like for example, if I just did videos like this, where you didn't see my face and I just said, well, you know, this and this and that and this and this and this shit and this shit and this that and this shit, you know, it don't get you as far as if a person like, you know, like if they see you, because I'm getting like offers to wear shit, and people want me to put shit in the background of my videos, and people want me to put the logos and shit on shit, you know. So I feel confident that, you know, especially if I had the weekend I had, like this last weekend, for example, I did um the video I did on Joshua did like 140,000 views or something. You can't tell me I can't sell 10 hoodies at $50 a piece. 10 hoodies in a video that does 140,000 views. You can't tell me that's 10 hoodies that's $500. You can't tell me I can't do that. But I wanted to be like a simple, you know, something simple where people just go to the website, point, click, buy the hoodie, and I don't have to. All I gotta do is just mention it. You know, so that's what we're working on. Yeah, he's with Frank Warren for a fight-to-fight basis, meaning James DeGale. He is not signed with Frank Warren, but he's with him for a fight-to-fight basis, thanks to Al Heyman, and Al Heyman pretty much using Frank Warren, you know, as you know, his UK Connect now. He couldn't join the tournament. He was injured. He was injured. Can Parker beat Jennings? I don't know. I don't think so. J Rock versus Ishe. Are you really going to ask me about that, J Rock? You guys going to say Ishe? Why would you ask me about that? I'm not picking J Rock because I'm from Philly. Best wishes, old friend. Yeah, I'm not reading the Facebook comments. I see the Facebook comments now. I'm trying to find a way to get the Facebook comments on the screen. You know, on this screen. Well, I can get it on the screen. You know, so what I'm doing is I'm watching the Facebook comments from the, you'll see it from the iPad. You know, or I could have just pulled it up on the other screen. Could have pulled it up on the other screen. Let me see. How does this work? Because you be saying nutty shit sometimes. Where? Who? Who are you anyway? I don't even know you, bro. I don't even know you. I don't even know you, bro. Yeah, I do be seeing some dickhead shit sometimes, though. I'm human. Right? Yeah, that's one big fighter avoiding Deontay, Joshua. What? I don't understand your broken English. You should use punctuation. Punctuation is your friend. So what I'm going to do is all my shit is all charged up. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I like going to the market on a late night. I love going to the supermarket on a late night where everything is just empty as shit. That's a beautiful feeling. Like going to the market like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. To me, it is. You know, so I'm wondering. I took a nap, so I'm pretty much up. I'm wondering if I should take. Oh, no, I got some work to do. There's some work to do. Sporting Icons put up a video where Wilder's trainer said he wasn't ready for Vlad at 33 fights. But AJ has a rush. Good joke. Okay. Is Jack Stevenson close to being official? No. Jack and Stevenson is not happening. Don Stevenson fighting Later Alvarez in January. January the 27th, I believe. Nope. It's a Later Alvarez, bro. It's Later Alvarez. I don't know who Jack is going to fight and why he dropped his belt. Nah, I never been no nut ass dude. I don't be saying nut. I mean, it depends. You can say I say some dickhead shit sometimes, but I ain't gonna say I be saying nut ass shit. Nut ass shit like what? But then again, I'm human. You know? Again, I'm human, man. Nah, I know I can't do Wawa no more. I live up the street from Wawa. If you live near Wawa, you can't do Wawa anymore. You know, I only go to Wawa for like milk and eggs. You know, and that's if you know, like I'm like out of milk and eggs. I can't eat that shit no more. You know, nope. That's the curse of Wawa. You live there. For those who don't know, Wawa is like a convenience store. It's like a chain convenience store. They sell like subs or hoagies or heroes, what the motherfucker you call them. You know, like 24 hours and shit. You know, donuts, cakes, and you know, shit like that. Nah, I can't. So the curse is if you live near a Wawa, like if you're not around a Wawa, you know, you be like, damn, like, you know, I want some Wawa. You know, but if you live near a Wawa, you don't be wanting that shit. You can't eat that. Can't do it. Can't do it. You know? Should be the worst. Also, I gotta stop going, man. I got this Hispanic barber I've been using, man, for like the last 4 months now. I gotta stop telling him to stop using a razor on my face. My skin keep breaking out. It's the worst. I'm looking like the back of a Nestle Crunch bar. You know, I hate going to the barber, especially since I'm bald. They do the most work on my face. But it's like, before I go into the barber, my face be clear as shit. Then after like 3-4 days, I start getting this shit and this shit all down here. You know, and they be taking all long with the fucking razor and the oils and massaging my fucking... I don't like that, man. So I'm gonna have to start telling them, like, listen, you can't use the razor no more, bro. Even though I be looking sharp and I be looking Dominican when I be leaving. But can't, you know, I can't have them doing that anymore. But all right, guys, I gotta go. This stream has been an hour now. We're gonna be streaming live from the press conference tomorrow or later on today. Wilder Stiverne, and then I'm gonna be at the fight, and then we're gonna do some other shit too. T-Street Controversy Live.